There is no denying that you are a historic racer. You compete, and you are occasionally a key motivator. Are you more concerned with winning the race or the track? If anything, what I have received is a 1964 Ford Falcon. That's like sailing on land, isn't it? I see what you mean. It does seem a bit flimsy. Rowan Atkinson is more than just a legend in the world of comedy. He exemplifies the power of combining talent with ambition to achieve one's goals. The acting and writing careers of Atkinson have been truly remarkable, and he is reportedly worth over $150 million, 0 cents. Along with his extraordinary career, he is also a huge car collector. His collection includes both vintage cars and modern classics, as well as some of the most desirable models ever made. Embark on a journey with us as we delve into Rowan Atkinson's collection of exquisite automobiles. Not only is Rowan Atkinson's McLaren an engineering marvel, but it is also the most expensive car he has ever owned. Conversely, it has an incredible past that you won't believe is attached to it. During his ownership of the vehicle, Atkinson accumulated over 41,000 miles of driving time. Notwithstanding this, his tenure in Formula One was far from easy. 2 more times than that, he wrecked the car. He was involved in a minor collision with the back of another vehicle while driving through English streets. Luckily, he escaped this accident unharmed. However, this is not the case with the second crash, which was far more devastating than the first. In the incident, Atkinson lost control of the vehicle while driving on a wet road and crashed into a tree. The force of the impact was so great that it severed the engine from the car. Despite suffering a broken shoulder, he miraculously made it out of the situation unscathed. Meanwhile, he couldn't simply evade paying the repair bill. Restoring the parts cost a record-breaking $1,400,000, 0 cents. Earning it the title of one of the most expensive car repairs ever. The F1 had been in Atkinson's possession for 18 years when he decided to sell it. The auction sale in 2015 for $12 million was a smashing success for him. His profit was around 10 times the initial investment, given that he had bought it for about $800,000, 0 cents. However, there is a catch. The accidents weren't the main reason Atkinson decided to sell the car. As a result of the unprecedented level of interest in the McLaren F1, its owner went from a millionaire to a billionaire very quickly. Although he prefers to keep to himself, Atkinson couldn't help but sell his beloved car. The sole vehicle in Atkinson's collection that has proven resilient in the face of this trend is the 1993 Mercedes-Benz 500e, also known as the W124. Historically, Atkinson has been able to sell unique cars and then go on to other things. You would be mistaken if you thought this car was just another ordinary sedan based on its appearance. Its real performance capabilities have earned it the moniker wolf in sheep's clothing. Just so you know, Porsche had a hand in making this jaw-dropping car. Because of this partnership, the 500e's 5-liter V8 engine, which produces 326 horsepower and can accelerate to 62 mph in 5.5 seconds, is not surprising. However, the story does not end here. There is no other Mercedes 500e like it because of its interesting past, which includes 2 auction sales. The actor initially bought the car in 1993, but he decided to sell it in 1994. While he has successfully sold supercars in the past, he caved to the temptation to purchase it again in 2017. Surprisingly, he sold it again just over a year after repurchasing it. Along with another one-of-a-kind car from his collection, the 1989 Lancia Thema 832. He put it up for auction. Nevertheless, he introduced a new turn of events this time. Just as the Mercedes 500e might fool some, the Lancia Thema could fool others with its outward appearance. At first glance, the 1989 Lancia might seem like any other executive vehicle. However, hiding under the hood is an extraordinary engine that was developed by Ferrari, the 3. The 0L V8 power plant We will now move on to the 1986 Aston Martin V8 Zagato owned by Atkinson. In contrast to the current crop of Aston Martins, the V8 Zagato was a track-phemic, high-performance machine. Just like all of the other one-of-a-kind classics in his garage, this one has a story all its own. The fact that Atkinson spent $670,000, 0 cents, on the Zagato should not be overlooked. Alternatively, he would have preferred it to serve as a one-of-a-kind racing machine rather than a museum piece. Thus, he entrusted it to the Aston Martin Works Service to enhance its performance. At that site, the car was reworked into a racing machine for an additional $300, 0 cents, bringing the grand total spent on the Zagato to an absurdly close $1 million. The V8 Zagato was just one of many high-performance Atkinson vehicles that have been involved in accidents while racing. After Atkinson's brief stint in racing was over, he decided to sell the vehicle at auction. He had spent more than $292,000, 0 cents, restoring it, but the auction went wrong, and he only managed to sell it for $100, $62, 0 cents instead. Atkinson was just the beginning of the automobile's exciting journey. Following its transfer of ownership, Nicholas Mee and his crew modified the vehicle so that it could be used on roads instead of tracks. The vehicle was removed from the racing circuit and sold for $335, 0 cents after the modifications were made. Throughout its storied racing career, Atkinson's Ford Falcon Sprint has been an undisputed legend. One performance-oriented variant of the regular Falcon was the Falcon Sprint. Instead of the standard 2.4-liter inline-six, it featured a 4.7-liter V8. Because of the power boost that came from the upgrade, it became one of the most exciting muscle cars of the 60S. Bear in mind that the 1964 model year Ford Mustang was based on the Ford Falcon Sprint, which is an important piece of information to remember. Atkinson embarked on his journey with the Sprint in 2006 and has raced it in numerous competitions since then, pushing it to its limits. Just wonders, in case you were wondering, yes, he also wrecked this. All of this started in 2014 during the Goodwood Revival Shelby Cup race. His head-on collision with another racer during the course of the event was a potentially fatal one. Thankfully, the injuries sustained by Atkinson and the Falcon Sprint were not severe, and the damage was not extensive. After 15 years of ownership, Atkinson decided to sell the vehicle. A total of $77,000, 0 cents, was his profit from selling the Falcon Sprint at Silverstone Auctions in 2021. When one thinks of Rowan Atkinson's car collection, only high-end European models probably pop into one's head. But among Atkinson's prized possessions is a car that many would find surprising: the Honda NSX. An upgraded version of the NSX is available from Atkinson. It features a 3LV6 engine that can reach 168 EMPH and produces 252 horsepower. In comparison to modern supercars, those numbers may not seem all that impressive, but for the 1990S, the NSX was a game changer when it came to performance. Not only that, but Atkinson's garage is rife with valuables, including the Rolls-Royce Phantom Drophead, which holds a special place in his heart. Atkinson fans who have seen Johnny English Reborn might be able to identify this work of art by its oceanic blue color and perfectly synchronized wheels. The 2011 model stands out not just for its stunning good looks, but also for the unique engine components it uses. It's a rare 9, and Atkinson's Phantom has it. There are 0 liters of V16. The actor reportedly spent over $500,000, 0 cents, on this particular Phantom, even though the base model has a 6.75-liter Volkswagen V12 engine. The most intriguing part, though, is that he personally requested that Rolls-Royce reserve an experimental V16 engine for Johnny English Reborn. In addition, How they managed to produce 3 or 4 of these engines, test them extensively, and discover they had exceptional power and torque ratings is beyond me. That being said, I contacted Rolls-Royce to see if they could consider fitting our Johnny English Phantom with one of their V16 engines. Do you think it's a good idea? Following this, we will see the unveiling of the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG GT. In addition to being an exquisitely beautiful vehicle, this crimson beauty is also an exceptionally fast, high-performance machine. Even with its distinctive gull-wing doors, the AMG is a lot more than that. A 6.2-liter V8 engine producing 583 horsepower powers it. This engine allows it to go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in a mere 3.5 seconds. Atkinson is a car aficionado, and not only because of how they look. He also thinks they work really well, but having a large collection of racing vehicles is proof that he developed a passion for cars from a young age, as his interest in them began at an early age. He raced in the Renault 5 Turbo 1 Make series for 2 full seasons. On top of that, he drove an Aston Martin Vantage D4 to the 2012 Le Mans Festival and a Jaguar Mark 7 to the 2013 Goodwood Revival. He deserves credit for not buying cars merely to show them off. Taking them for rides and pushing their limits is something he enjoys doing very much. For him, cars are about more than just the money they cost. They're about the thrill, the power, and the pure joy of being behind the wheel.